Hey everybody, welcome to IGL. My name is Keith, a.k.a. FamCam, your go-to for interviewing ASMR artists, and we have a very special guest today. We have That's Awkward ASMR, aka That Awkward Gamer. She is a gaming ASMR artist and also has another channel purely for regular gaming content, and is also a VTuber, as you can see on screen. She has an amazing 3D model of herself. It looks fantastic. Tatiana, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing pretty good.
Fantastic. So why don't we start with talking about your 3D model? How did that come to be?
Okay, so when I first started making videos on my ASMR channel, I wanted to be faceless and I knew like making content, I wanted to keep my like anonymity, like I wanted to keep that kind of distance between like my content and myself. And so I wanted to find a way where, especially with gameplay videos, because I have a very expressive face, and I wanted to find a way to capture that and let people see that. Especially with the gameplay videos, just to make them more interesting, and like also for thumbnails, it helps have like an actual face in them. So I couldn't find a way at the time to get, this is about 2.5 years ago, so I couldn't get like a 3D model or anything like that because it's expensive and all this stuff. I didn't know how to do it. So I actually my phone my phone what is like your contract is coming up where you get a new phone. That was coming up and I was like, you know what? I had Android. I was like, let me get an iPhone because I know that the front of the iPhone's camera actually is like unparalleled. That technology has been patented by them and it is the best for facial tracking. Like like Code Miko, who is a Twitch streamer who like does 3D, like she's crazy, like she's on another level, does her entire 3D model in Unity, builds it. She uses this because it is the best camera. She uses an iPhone and her setup's like thousands of dollars, right? It's crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna get an iPhone. I'm gonna use the Memoji that comes with it, and I'm just gonna crop the screen, and I'm gonna use that because it's super expressive. But I always did that with the intent to become a full kind of VTuber, but I didn't know how to get this 3D model until literally 3 months ago is when I was able to get this 3D model. And it was completely free. I got a video like on my second channel about how to do it. Anyone can do it, completely free. It's by this company, Ready Player Me, and you can use it in anything too. You can use it in games, like you can use it in like VR. It's crazy. And so it looks great. It was easy to make, and like I think it adds like, instead of being the floating Memoji head, I think it just adds so much more personality, having shoulders and like a full body. And I think this one looks really good, and I think it's relatable and like people like it, and it's good at tracking my face, which was always important to me. That's why I didn't go with 2D VTubing, because it doesn't track your face as well. In my opinion, for like me wanting to be expressive and let them see like these types of faces that I make all the time. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. I just wanted to have a way to be relatable and become like a full VTuber. And like, I'm going to shy away from having IRL content showing, like, for example, I used to show my hands. You actually used to see a whole part of my body before. I would just have the Memoji over it. So now I'm trying to
I remember that.
look at, yeah, trying to look at other VTubers that they'll show their hands, but they usually cover them with gloves and stuff just to kind of keep that immersion. So that's kind of my plan from here on out, is just to be a full-blown VTuber and really embrace that. And I've had a great time. I've had a great time doing it. And I think it's helped out my content for sure, being more relatable and helping people just to, not be focused on a floating head.
Yeah. And you made that switch just in time, because we all know that in a year or 2 or 5 or however how long, someday we'll have the technology to be able to have high enough definition video for the camera to track your fingerprints. So if you show your hands on screen, people can get your identity that way. It's safe for me to do that now. I mean, I literally just made up that concept, but I know how the world works. I know how tech works. It's probably going to happen one day.
One day they'll be doing something.
So just keep that in mind. If you want if your anonymity, I can never say that word. Anonymity is that important to you, wear gloves. You'll thank me later.
Yep.
Speaking of how good the tracking is, I agree. On the 3D model used now, tracking is fantastic. I remember one time watching you play Fall Guys on Twitch. You had an itchy nose and you scratched it, but the animal was just like
just freezing.
Something like that. I mean, here's a clip so y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, my nose is itchy. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. I can't take my hands off this controller. My nose is it. Oh, oh, it's itchy. Stop it, nose. Oh. Okay, I can itch. Sorry, my hand emoji looks weird when I wipe my nose.
That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it was that moment that I became like the biggest That's Awkward ASMR fan right there because of that emoji moment.
See, you can make content, everyone. Just itch your nose. You could literally get a subscriber. You literally could.
Yeah. As we established, your content highly circles around gaming, whether it's an ASMR or not. How did you get into gaming?
So when I was a kid, my childhood was a bit rough. And we were pretty isolated and stuff. It was a bad situation. Got out of it recently and doing a bit better, but it was a bad situation where I was very isolated, didn't really have like an outlet really to do anything. We watched a lot of movies, like my sister Ellie and I, like we watched like every single movie ever, just because that's really all we did was go to Blockbuster. You got movies. That's the only time we really got out. And so gaming, like on like the computer, for example, like free online games, because it didn't cost any money to the parents. We could just go on there and do it. Became like a big staple of me having an outlet and something that would distract me and just forget about my situation and just have a good time. Both Ellie and I, my sister Ellie and I, we both had that outlet, and it was really, really great. And my first game I ever played was like pinball on like a really old like Windows computer, where like the keyboard split in half, like really old. Like some of you watching, you get or listening, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like
yeah,
really old.
That classic 3D pinball that came on Windows back in the 90s.
Yeah, came with it. So like I started playing that when I was like really small, and then it just kind of, the love of that and enjoying that escape just kind of evolved. And I never got consoles and stuff until the Wii. My aunt bought it for us. But like I always went to people's houses, and I'm the kid who's like, you got games on your phone? Like, you got games on your phone? Like I'm that kid, because I really, really like loved gaming. Like I'd go to someone's house, and because I didn't have like console games and stuff myself, I would see like the commercials on TV. So when I saw someone had like Mario, or they had like an Xbox, they had Spider-Man, I was like, can I play games? Like, and they're like, oh, you're like, I don't want to play games. I'm like, yeah, I'd really like to play your games.
I was the same way, except instead of phones, it was Game Boys, because
yeah. No, there were no games on the phones when I was a kid. I was just giving that example. Like, I think actually my dad had a Palm Pilot, and it had Snake on it.
I love Snake. I
love Snake. But yeah. So playing games like that, free online games before Flash was gone, like we played a lot of those. And just after I got the Wii, that was basically like it. From then I tried to get consoles. I think we got an Xbox after that. And then it's just, now when I'm making content for gaming, like I want to give that escape to people. That's like in my content. Like I want the escape I had from watching YouTube or like playing video games. That's what I want to give people when they come to my channels, is like, I want you to escape and have a good time and just forget about whatever is going on. And I also love sharing my love of gaming, right? Like I'm not worried about console wars and stuff. Like I just love games, and I think there's so much to appreciate about them and the people who make them. And I just want to share that with other people. And yeah, so it started from pinball on a free pinball game on a Windows computer.
You also mentioned you play a lot of online games. What are some of your other favorite games, and what were your favorite websites to play online games on?
So they're like, when I was a kid, it was probably the ones that could give you viruses. Like I was not careful because I was a kid, but one that won't give you viruses that you can even look up now. I just don't think you can play the games because obviously with the Flash being removed. But Flipline Studios has the Papa's Pizzeria, which is where you make foods and stuff. You can actually get them on mobile now. It's like $1. They're super fun, where you like make the food from start to finish and serve customers based on their orders. And another one actually is Niche Roam. That one also won't give you any problems. And I think they have a game on the Switch now. But like they had a bunch of games that were like co-op. Like me and my sister could like sit at the computer, and we could like have one keyboard and both be playing at the same time. So for us that was good, because there was the two of us. Yeah, and they were super cool, like pixel games, super cool. They would release one like every week too. Like I don't know what these companies are doing, because like they're so good at making these games. I'm like, can you put them on the Switch? I feel like is the best place for them to go, right? Because like it's just such a natural. I'm like, when is Papa's Pizzeria like getting on the Switch? Like, please, where is it? Like, when are these games getting on there? But yeah,
I'm
those are
still
the
waiting for
two.
Zoombinis to go on Switch.
Yeah.
Papa's Pizza reminded me of Zoombinis because there's a mini game in there called Pizza Trolls where it's
Hmm.
basically Pizza Mastermind, where they don't the Pizza Trolls don't tell you what they want on their pizza. You're supposed to figure it out, and you put in a bunch of toppings, and they tell you if they want more. They tell you if
Hmm.
there's something they don't like, and you figure it out based on that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds similar. That sounds similar.
Let's talk collabs. You and I have done a few collabs in our day. We played
Hmm.
Mario Kart 8 together. We played
Yeah.
Among Us together. And we've also done a couple of Mike Talks ASMR collabs. Shout out to you,
Hmm.
Mike,
Yeah.
where he's done a couple collabs where he would have gaming ASMRists submit a couple of minutes playing some of
Yeah.
their favorite games. What are some games that you love to do collabing on a regular basis with other ASMRs and viewers? And what are some more that you'd like to do in the future?
So right now I love like I'll start with viewers. I love to play Mario Kart with viewers. I do it a lot on my no, like normal, I would say like normal speaking. I don't know what's called my non-ASMR channel.
Yeah,
I stream on there like almost every day, all the time, and we play Mario Kart. It's super fun. Like anyone can join, just type in the code and then it's just like the races start. So easy to set up. And that's a lot of fun. So I love doing that. Even Mario Kart, like how we did the collab, like collabing with ASM artists, I think is fun because Mario Kart's just so much fun. Like you turn
hmm,
it on and it's just going to be fun right away. It's so easy for everyone to kind of jump into. Um, I think one that I would like to do in the future is Splatoon 3. I think it would be
yes,
so much fun. Yeah, Splatoon 3. I've done Splatoon 2 and it is very fun to play in ASMR. As weird as that sounds, but it is so much fun. And I think that would be really cool to get like a bunch of ASMR artists together, even if they're non-gaming ASMR artists. Just if you like it and you play and you like do ASMR, it'd be cool to get people together to do a little tournament. I think that'd be so cool.
totally. I'd be down. And
Yeah.
I agree. Splatoon in its very nature isn't exactly doesn't exactly have that ASMR vibe like say
Yeah.
Minecraft or
Hmm.
Stardew or Flight Simulator do.
Yeah.
But I personally think that any game has potential for ASMR. I mean, I've
Hmm.
played Doom in ASMR a few times.
Yeah.
I'm talking like classic Dooms are my favorite, but I'm talking like the new Dooms, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I've played those
Yeah.
in ASMR, and I've played Dark Souls once in ASMR, where every
Hmm.
time I died, which it's Dark Souls game, so you know it's frequent,
Hmm.
I ate a bite of Amy's chili laced with the Last Dab hot sauce. You know
Oh,
that Pepper X hot sauce
yeah.
from Hot Ones.
Hot ones, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did that, and
Oh
to
my.
this day, my most popular clip on Twitch is from that stream. It was before the beard. Take a look. Oh my god. I'm a fucking king. I'm a fucking monster. I'm a fucking beast. I'm a fucking beast.
Wow. Well, my condolences. I must.
It was a painful yet fun experience.
Yeah, I'm
In
sure. I
fact,
wanted to do hot ones. My sister's like, no, you will die. You will not do that.
I would love to go on Hot Ones. I would not. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
the first vegan on it either. Billie
No.
Eilish was on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They have
That's true.
workarounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, Hot Ones is a good show.
It
Oh.
really is. Switching gears for a sec, let's talk video compression because
Mhm.
um, literally an hour before we started recording, when I was on my way home, I listened to a new video that you put out on your non ASMR channel,
Mhm.
how YouTube screws over small creators. I'm paraphrasing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's basically a gist of it. And it's all about the fact that if you're YouTube has two different compression modes, and if you're a
Mhm.
if you're a small creator, you get the crappy one that makes what would have been a quality video look
Yeah.
really pixelated. And if you're a bigger creator, you get the better compressor, and your videos look totally fantastic as if it was still on your computer's hard drive.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
do you want to talk about how without giving away the solution, because I want people to go
Hmm.
watch the video, do you want to talk about how making that video came to be?
So yeah, so I've been making content for 3 years on the ASMR gaming channel, and then about a year and a half, maybe 2 years soon, on the well, I think it's like a year and a half on the other channel. And, it's all gaming, right? So
Mhm.
gaming it can be fast paced. Like, for example, we've been talking about Mario Kart. Um, you know, those games, when they're that fast paced, what I was noticing, or like even with, okay, so for example, like Horizon Forbidden West came out,
Mhm.
and I did some videos as like Aloy, the main character, walking, because like the sound design is so gorgeous in that game. And I really wanted to make a video where, I turn everything off, because you can turn off the entire like UI, you can turn all of it off. So it looks like it's just Aloy walking. So it's like, go take a walk with Aloy type thing. So as I'm walking and doing it, I'm like, wow, this looks great. I did the 60 frame version of the game. I was like, it looks good. Export it, looks great. Goes onto YouTube, looks horrible. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is 1080 HD. I have paid money for like an Elgato capture card. Like, this should look good. I've done the work. I've put in the time. Like, what's going on? And I thought maybe like it uploaded weird. So a re-upload didn't work. I've done a couple videos actually with Horizon, and I would like, do things that I would think would be a solution, and it would still not look good. And I was
Yeah.
so upset and frustrated. This has happened on videos before. This was happening on my live streams on my other channel. This was happening on videos on the other channel. And I was so frustrated by these things getting compressed so hard. And I was like, I have all the equipment that should make me have success, and I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
The last straw was recently I posted, and it's not on my channel anymore. You'll have to see the video to see what it looked like. But this video of this Mario Kart, I was looking at the new DLCs. I was kind of showcasing them on my ASMR channel, and it's fast, right? Mario Kart is very fast.
Mhm.
As soon it looked kind of bad. Like, I looked at the video before I uploaded it, looked good. Uploaded it, looks horrible. It says it's uploaded in HD. It says everything's fine. And I'm like, but it's not, because this is looking so horrible, especially when there was movement. And I was just finished. I was absolutely finished. I'm so frustrated. This video I was like, this is supposed to do good on the channel. This is relevant topic. Like, people I noticed were clicking on it and then clicking away really quickly. And I'm
Oh yeah.
like, and it was right at the part where it's the worst, right? It was bad in the whole video, but when it was the worst, I'm like, people are clicking away, and it's harming this video because it looked horrible, but it shouldn't. So
Mm.
then I went and I've looked this up before, but I did more extensive like searchings, typed in different types of sentences just to see what would come up until I could find a video that kind of had a solution. And I was like, more people need to know this. And I did more kind of like, I didn't talk about it a lot in the video, but I did more comparing of larger channels, smaller channels.
Mm.
What's the difference? Like, how does YouTube decide, to like
Yeah.
give you a better codec? Like, how do they decide that? And it's so weird, because some videos can have 200 views and have the better one be a small channel, and then some can have 1,000 and it doesn't. And I think it's really up to like how fast YouTube thinks, like how fast you get views determines it. And I don't think that's right, because I mean, it's compressed your video. How are they going to uncompress it, right? So that
Mhm.
video comes up with a solution on how you can try to fix this, how you can bypass it to always get the best codec. So your videos don't look like garbage, especially if you spent money, you put the time and effort in, you made up an idea, you're creating something that you're proud of and should not be destroyed by YouTube because they didn't deem it worthy enough to have the best option, right? And that can harm a channel. How can you become a bigger
Absolutely.
creator if everything looks like garbage? So I was super upset, and I was really motivated to make the video and the thumbnail and everything. I'm like, people are gonna click this. Like, people need to know.
I thought it was a really good thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
I was impressed. It was amazing. Um, and I'm really glad you put out that video, because, I got to see it before we started recording this. So I made
Mhm.
sure the settings were all right. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not going to get specific, because again, I want you all to go watch the video. I'll put a link down below in the description. Go check it out. If you're a small YouTuber, I think you'll find it extremely valuable. But, I
Yeah.
got a little funny story, because about a year ago, I came across another video explaining
Mhm.
this very thing. And I started to use that technique, and it worked. But over the last year, I've had a lot of things get in the way with creating content,
Yeah.
and I eventually forgot about this technique. So I'm glad you reminded me. I'm going to start
Yeah.
using it again.
I'm glad it helped. I just want people to know, because like it's so frustrating when like you don't know what it is. You're like, I bought everything that should work. I'm doing it right. Like, what's wrong? And it was just so frustrating to just know like that it's just YouTube's fault. And like, how would I have known this? Like, I was so frustrated. So I hope it
Yeah.
helps people out. I was like, this better help
It,
people because I'm sick of this.
yeah. YouTube really should be telling people about this, because what, see, what YouTube and Twitch and other platforms fail to realize is that, I know they're profit driven and the bigger creators bring in the most cash.
Yeah, yeah, they're businesses, right? Yeah.
But if you help small creators grow, they'll become big creators, and you'll have more big creators, and therefore you'll bring in more revenue. That's just a fact.
Exactly.
It's not that hard to figure out.
No. Like, I think at least this better codec should be given to monetize channels. Like, I was frustrated. I've been monetized on YouTube. I'm putting as much effort as I can, and it's like I'm still getting like shilled. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still getting sidelined by YouTube, and I was so frustrated because I'm like, I feel like at least if you're monetized, that should be a part of. Oh, like when you're monetized, you're a signed partner with YouTube.
Yes.
How am I a signed partner and I'm not getting all the tools to succeed? Right? Like, how I don't understand why that's like something that YouTube, like a decision that's made. Like, people can argue
it doesn't cost
maybe
them anything to sign people to be a partner,
right?
So they
I guess that's true.
They don't have that motivation to make sure everything is covered.
That's true. I guess it is really money motivated, but it's frustrating because, like you said, how do you become a bigger creator if people are going to click away because your video is all ugly? Like, everything is high def now. Like, how are they going to sit and watch it if it doesn't look good? So I don't know, man. Yeah, I got so mad about it. I got so mad when I found out.
even when I'm streaming retro games, yes, I love to capture from the original hardware whenever I can. I'm still upscaling it, and sometimes I use effects in Premiere to sharpen a little bit so it looks nice. Even if I'm capturing from my NES or SNES Classic, I love having the CRT filter because it gives that true sense of nostalgia when you're a dinosaur like me. And but even with that, I want to make sure with that format it looks as good as possible, because people won't want to watch a video where it looks like it's being captured through an RF switch. Do you know, are you familiar with those?
No.
So an RF switch in the 8-bit and 16-bit days, it's basically those little coaxial cables where you screw it onto the back of the TV, and it's like a thin metal stick that goes in, and
I know what that is.
Yeah, all the video and all the audio are all going through that one little channel.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, the quality is shit. The quality is so bad.
Yeah.
It looks all washed up. It looks like watercolors and smeared audio and everything. It's terrible. The NES offers composite cables. Granted, it's mono audio, and it's so, but it's still far better quality than an RF switch can dream of being.
Yeah.
So both of your channels are over on YouTube, but there was a time where you were once streaming your non-ASMR content on Twitch. What made you decide to go YouTube exclusive?
So when I was on Twitch, I wanted to because like whenever you see videos about how to grow and stuff, especially from like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, they were like, streaming content's on Twitch. That's where it is. It's on Twitch. You don't put it on YouTube. Your videos are on YouTube. Like, that's all you keep hearing. Like, that's what you used to hear. And now it's a little different. Since YouTube started signing creator, like streamers, for example, and stuff, now they're like, oh, well, YouTube's also an option. But before, it wasn't considered one for some reason. So I thought, well, I better do what all these people say because they know what they're talking about. So I was I'm going to go over to Twitch and I'm going to see what to do. But the thing with Twitch is discoverability is really hard, especially... Yeah, at the time, like, I don't even think we had tags at that time when I was on there. I think that's relatively new. But like, I remember. Oh, they have? Okay, maybe I just didn't know about them.
Yeah, the thing about discoverability on Twitch is, it's kind of crappy. But yeah, I personally think the best way to be discovered on Twitch is to also have a YouTube channel. Yeah. Focus on building your audience on YouTube first, and bring them over on Twitch. And once you have that following over on Twitch, then it's easier to grow on Twitch, because the thing about Twitch is it doesn't have searchability like YouTube does.
Hmm.
Twitch just shows the channels with the most views
Yeah.
over the ones with the least views for
Hmm.
each topic. It also has recommended channels, but that's not search based. That's just this pure algorithm based, and we know how
Hmm.
algorithms work on the internet. They don't. Just,
Yeah.
I'm only slightly exaggerating, but because of this, it's a good idea to grow on YouTube first
Yeah.
and bring them over on Twitch, and then your Twitch channel will start to grow a bit more and gain a bit of momentum. That's what I
Yeah.
did. I was YouTube only for about 6 months before I started streaming on Twitch, and I initially was only playing games, not in ASMR, until a
Hmm.
couple weeks in, until ChristopherNotWalken, the founder and original host of this show, said,
Hmm.
"Bro, you gotta do ASMR on Twitch. ASMR is huge on Twitch." And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll give it a shot. And it worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Now my following on Twitch is bigger than that of YouTube by quite a bit. And I always get
Hmm.
more views on Twitch than I do YouTube.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing YouTube. YouTube is how I got started, and I love filmmaking and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And for me, I have a lot more creative freedom when I'm doing YouTube as opposed to Twitch, because there's only so much you can do live,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I want to broaden the things I can do. Yes,
Hmm.
niching down helps you grow faster, for the most part, but to me, it's not worth being bored over. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So YouTube is kind of my smorgasbord for ASMR content, and Twitch is my more niche down content where I'm focusing on
Yeah.
traditional ASMR and gaming ASMR, and once in a blue moon, role plays, and
Yeah.
even cooking streams and stuff to that effect. But most of the time, that stuff is over on YouTube. I don't do
Yeah.
cooking on camera very often. In fact, the last time I did that was maybe like 2 years ago. But I do
Hmm.
enjoy it, and I do want to do it again every once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 So like having the YouTube show, at first I didn't have the YouTube channel because I thought my ASMR channel is the YouTube channel that will propel the Twitch channel. But the content was so different because that's where I wanted to do different kinds of content. I wanted to expand into non-ASMR, because I'm very expressive and I can be very loud. I feel like every ASMR artist has the loud side. They always say
Oh
that, like,
yeah,
I'm always so loud. Like, I'm so loud all the time. My parent,
yeah.
like, my siblings are like, you're like loudest person in this house when you speak. Like, that's just how I am.
Oh, me too. When I told my
Yeah.
sister I was starting an ASMR channel, she laughed out loud because of how loud I was, and she and I discovered ASMR on her own, completely coincidentally, believe it or not.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah, when I told her that I started watching ASMR to help me fall asleep, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I really love Goodnight Moon. She's fantastic."
Yeah.
You know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Good Moon is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was just like I thought it would work and it just the content was too different. And also I noticed that my audience did not want to move from YouTube to Twitch because they're like, I don't
Yeah.
know what Twitch is. I don't know how to use it. It looked confusing.
And
And it
same way
does
the
when you
other way around, which is
yeah,
why I have a hard time bringing my lives over to YouTube,
to YouTube. Yeah.
because everybody who comes to see me live, they're over on Twitch, not so much
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's like people pick a platform and they don't want to switch it up, which is understandable. For me, I watch like everything. I watch content
Content.
on content. I watch content on everything.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah. So for me, at first I was like, oh, like people don't like to like switch. Like I like to watch it, but just because I like it doesn't mean everyone does. So I've noticed majority of my audience did not want to go over to Twitch. A lot of people did, and like shout out to those people who did follow me over there, and then inevitably follow me back onto YouTube. So at the time to start, I was like, I did a test actually. I streamed on YouTube. I streamed Spider-Man Miles Morales on YouTube, and then I
Nice.
did a stream over on Twitch. And I didn't know enough about streaming because everyone kept saying Twitch is the best place to go, so that's where I ended up, right? But my YouTube stream, I had 30 viewers. I don't know what I was. That was my first stream there, and people were like, "When are you gonna stream again? I want to come back." And I was like, "Oh well, I kind of am gonna stream on Twitch." And I think that was such a bad decision because some people it takes forever to get like 30 to 40 viewers. I went up 100 subscribers that week, like on that channel. It was
Wow.
brand new. And
Congratulations.
I literally left that channel and I went to Twitch and like, I don't know what I was doing. Like I just had this other channel that I was going to throw VODs on because that's what I thought I should do, but it wasn't helping me grow on Twitch. And I found with Twitch at first, everyone was like, that would come over was like, oh, this is exciting, but no one was staying on these
Mm.
streams. Like people would, if they did click on it, they'd leave. And I think a part of it is because I was using the Memoji at the time. If I was using this VTube model, I think I would have retained an audience much easier, and much better at that time. But at the time, I didn't have that. So I would see people come in, I would see the viewership go up and then drop really quickly. I was obviously not as outgoing as I am on stream now. Still a bit like learning in my comfort zone. But the numbers over time, like viewership was dropping a lot. Like followers was going up, but the viewership was dropping until it dropped about 2 to 1 every stream. And then at that point, I was like, what am I going live for? I'm not going live, no, like to stream to anybody, right? People are either not enjoying the streams anymore or, there's not enough of an audience that can find me over here. But like, am I not entertaining? Like, there were so many things going through my head. I was feeling
Oh
so
yeah.
bad.
Streaming will
And
do that
then,
to you.
yeah. And then, YouTube on like the YouTube side over the summer, they had started signing like huge creators and they're like, oh, we're going to focus on our streaming platform. We're going to make it better. And the only complaints I could find from my Twitch audience, they said, we don't really like the chat. And I was like, yeah, I understand that because emotes are a super big thing on Twitch. I love the
Mhm.
emotes on Twitch.
Well, they have that on YouTube now.
Right. So it was just before they added it that I was like, guys, if they fixed that, like had those emotes, would you switch? And a lot of people said, oh, I don't care about those. I'd switch. Some people, or like I'd switch with you anyway. I just want to see your streams. Some
Yeah.
people said, oh, I'd be able to see them like if I was at work because some places Twitch is not available at their work, like, but YouTube is. So they could watch it at
Yeah.
work. There was like a lot of different feedback that I got. And then I also was thinking, if my big audience, which is who I wanted to kind of funnel into this streaming, they would probably have an easier time clicking on another YouTube link than going to a new platform. So I also wouldn't alienate that audience. So they had signed a large creator, Tim the Tatman, and at the same time, when they signed him, like I wouldn't move because they signed a giant creator. It was because when they signed him, they promised, we're going to make, we're going to fix the chat and add emotes. Like it was like around the same week, I think, that he transferred over. They added those emotes to be able to be used on YouTube. So I was like, they're signing huger, like he's a huge Call of Duty player. I was like, they're signing these huge creators. They're making these promises, which I'm not going to lie, they have not delivered on yet. So that's sus, but you know what? I'm sitting here waiting. I'm enjoying being on YouTube, so that's fine. But they were making all these promises about streaming. It's going to get better. We're dedicated to it. We're going to focus on it. And I was like, you know what? I think I could make myself entertaining, make some changes to the streams and put them on YouTube. And then there's the chance of getting discovered. If you optimize your titles, people will come. I've had so many people just come to my streams. I've had like 20 viewers on my streams at one point. That would never happen on Twitch just because they wouldn't find the stream. The VTuber also helps. I now use like the VTuber hashtag because I didn't use it before because I didn't feel that comfortable, but now I feel like I am like a full-fledged VTuber, so I'm more comfortable using that. And yeah, it was just the viewership was getting so bad, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try out YouTube because when I looked back and I realized that stream did so good on YouTube, and now I understood streaming, I was like, why did I? For me, I don't think it made sense because of my audience being mostly on YouTube, right? Like with you, you're on Twitch, that's where your audience is, and I'm kind of the reverse.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I feel like because they're on there, I kind of alienated them from the streams, like asking them to go over there, and they don't want to go over there. So now I've noticed a lot more people have come over to that channel from the ASMR community. A lot of people are finding the channel more, especially now that this VTube model is here. I've grown a lot on that channel, so I'm having a good time. But I was sad to leave Twitch because I really did like the bits and like the interactivity they could do. They used to change stuff on my model, like they'd make me take off my glasses. Like that stuff I really, really miss from Twitch the most. But I think I've tried to make up for the fact they don't have those things by doing polls a lot, asking them a lot of questions, keeping them involved in my content, like the community. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's why I made the switch, and I think it's been better for me personally than staying on Twitch, even though I really did like it. And like for me, like I also at first I was like, oh man, what if they don't move over? What if I lose viewers? But I was like, Tatiana, how can you lose viewers when you have 2 people coming, and like one of them is your brother because he's a mod? So I'm like, you're already at the point of starting over. So I was like, I was more comfortable, but I was really nervous about it. But you know what? My community, like, shout out to them if y'all are watching. They were so supportive of the switch because I'm usually pretty honest with them. Like, I was like, I'm really scared to make the switch. I'm not sure how to handle the content. And like, even when I made the switch, it wasn't great right away, right? I did average like 3 viewers. It was higher. Now I average 6 to 10, or sorry, 8 to 10 viewers, which is really good. I've never averaged that before by myself without raids and stuff. So that was really, really cool. And it's really nice of my community. They're so supportive. Like, some of them now show up before the stream starts, which I've never had before. So it's definitely made me feel like this was a good switch. And then also learning how to make content to go with it, like recorded content, like the how-to videos. I find those videos are doing really well and people are really enjoying them in my community. So I'm like, maybe I should focus on those because the gameplay videos on the channel do okay. They're usually just edits from my streams. But it seems like this pre-recorded content is doing much better. And so, I feel like content creation is always learning and adapting to different situations. Like, my ASMR channel is going to go through a little bit of not an overhaul, but there's going to be more, like, different kinds of content within the gaming space that I can do with this VTube model. I had the community vote all week about it and really get them to be involved in the changes and how they feel about the changes. And I think it's going to be really good for the channel. But learning to adapt is something that's been really difficult. Like, no matter what platform you're on, sometimes it gets scary when you're noticing something that was working isn't working and you're like, how am I going to fix this? But just taking a step back and like looking at your content and trying not to be too stressed out, because I get stressed out, is like a good thing. But yeah, adaptability is a really good thing as a content creator.
We have a couple of fan questions, so why don't we go into those? So
Okay.
First fan question is from LilMinion92, a.k.a. at Annalisa14492.
Yeah.
She writes, "Hey, at FamCam ASMR, that's me. I'd like to know why Tatiana decided to start ASMR and how she first came in contact with ASMR. And by the way, we usually start episodes with that question, but we didn't this time because Annalise asked it."
Okay. Okay, I'll start with how I got in contact with it. I think I had just been looking up, like, okay, truly, it's hard for me to remember because there's different instances where I didn't really know what ASMR was, but I was kind of in contact with it. Where they were like, things were titled ASMR, right? Like, I've had the feeling of ASMR since I was a kid watching like Pixar movies, especially like Bug's Life. Like Monsters Inc. when Sully is like putting down the cereal like for Boo, like that specific scene. You hear the cereal box. Like, I always experienced this, like, enjoying these sounds or enjoying the way certain things would look with these sounds. And I was like, man, I really like, well, I don't know what this is, but I love this. And my sister also experiences, my brother experiences it.
Shout
But
out
you
to
like, you didn't,
Max.
yeah, shout out to Max, my brother. Like, you didn't know like what it was, right? A lot of people say that. And so, I never was one to listen to relaxing like animal sounds or relaxing sea. Like, I don't know. I would get bored, or wasn't like into those things. So I think the first time, and this could be wrong, right? But I think the first time was my friend. It could have been just before this, but I think ASMR was starting to become more popular. I think it might have been recommended to me and I would see it, but I just didn't know what it was. So I didn't click on it.
Yeah,
And
I
yeah,
had that experience too.
yeah, and then so I just didn't click on it. I was like, I don't know what this is. Why is it being recommended to me? I don't know. So then my friend had showed me this video and they were kind of laughing because it was someone was eating a pickle, but they were like opening a jar and stuff and they didn't know what it was. Now they're fine with it. Like, but at the first experience they were like, what is this? Like, this person's just eating a pickle. And I was like, that's so weird. But then I low key kind of liked some of the sounds in there. Like, I don't really like eating sounds, but like too much, but they were like opening the like jar and stuff like that. I was like, like, I low key, while they were like there, I was like, I kind of low key, like, I don't know what that is. So later I went and looked it up and I think this is how it went. And then I found this video of this girl just sitting in her room, super lo-fi, just sitting in her room and then like opening bottles and like just tapping on things. And I was like, why do people like this? Like, I was so confused. I was like, I don't know, like, what is this?
Were
But
you
I
watching
also,
without headphones at that point?
no, I had headphones.
Okay.
Headphones. And I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, what is this? And then I actually stumbled across like a 3D haircut video. And like it was like a binaural play is the way you can actually still find it. And it's supposed to be you're getting a haircut and the guy gets close to your ears on either side. And I was like, oh shoot, what is this? And so I was like kind of intrigued. I was like, I don't really know, like I don't understand, but I'm going to keep looking into this because it's interesting. And then from there I found channels like ASMR Darling, ASMR
Yes.
Requests, which actually is kind of coming back, low key, everyone. So
Hmm.
be excited. And GB ASMR were the
Yes.
first three that I was like really listening to. And after I got the brain injury, it was recommended. This was around the time before I got the brain injury, and then after the brain injury, they're like, you need to listen to stuff to be calm.
Mm.
Listen to like water, and I was like, I don't know. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to ASMR. So I listened to more ASMR and stuff, and then that's how I like got into it. And then from there it was like I'd watch gameplay videos because I noticed there were so many different types of ASMR. There's like putting on makeup, do my makeup with you, eating ASMR, like mukbangs,
A
and then
mukbang or
there's
mukbang. I think it's pronounced
mukbang.
mukbang, but nobody says
Yeah,
mukbang because it
yeah.
sounds like something else.
It sounds yeah, it kind of sounds kind of suspicious. And there was just so many subgenres, and like I personally love role plays a lot. And then I was like, I wonder if there's gaming ASMR. And so that's when I looked up gaming ASMR and I found ASMR Gaming News. And
Yes.
yeah, ASMR Gaming News is great. I love the chill vibes and everything. And it was just nice to watch a gaming video where they're not yelling in your face. Like
Yeah.
some gaming videos were loud, and just after the concussion, sometimes it's too loud. It's just like a bit of an overload for me. So I
Mhm.
appreciated these calm, really chill, videos from ASMR Gaming News. And then from there I found more ASMR gaming like artists and stuff, and I was like, you know what, like I could do this, like this could be really cool. I was gonna lose my job at the time. Like I've had a hard time getting a job since the concussion. The one I had was I could feel like I'm probably gonna end up getting laid off or having to leave this job. And so I was like, you know what, let me like really put effort into like learning YouTube. So for literally 6 months before I posted a video, I like read everything I could. I absorbed so much content about how to make videos, how to be interesting, about ASMR content from ASMR artists, tons of stuff. And then I posted my first video, which was not ASMR, and it got deleted, and the channel was completely different. And then 2 weeks later, it turned into an ASMR channel. But no one, I don't think, has ever seen those. But my third subscriber was ASMR Gaming News, which was, I think, a big motivation because I was like, I've watched this person for, I think, almost a year. I had been watching ASMR Gaming News. And I
Wow.
was like, or maybe more actually, but I was like, this is crazy. That like this person followed me, and I was like, they must see something. But also, I was kind of like, how did you find me and stuff? So that kind of motivated me too to keep posting. But that's kind of it. It was just kind of a slow progression all the way to the point. I think I had been watching ASMR for about 2.5, 3 years before I made my channel. I think that's around the time.
That
But
sounds
yeah,
about the same amount of time that I did before I started making my channel. And you did ASMR for about 3 years now, right?
yeah, it's about two. It's gonna be 3 years. I think in August. I think in
Okay.
August is 3 years. Yeah, end of August.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, that means that you are 1 year shy of doing ASMR and watching ASMR the same time I did each of them.
Yeah, yeah.
um, Before we go on to the next fan question, you talked about the concussion. If you don't mind me
Hmm.
asking, how did it happen?
Oh yeah, no, no, that's okay. It's kind of embarrassing. I was I was working at a photo lab, and it was really busy. That place was bad. It was a bad place to work. The manager
Mm.
was like like just so lazy, and like would have everyone else do his job, and it was so bad. Like he literally one time had someone was yelling upset on the phone, right? Which is he gets paid to deal with that, and he
Mm.
gave it to me. And so I just did the normal, okay, what did you need? What is this? What's your problem? Okay, I understand. Okay, well, only a manager can help you. I handed the phone back to him. He got so mad, and I was like, I literally said, this is your job. And I handed the phone back because I was like, I can't do anything. You are the person who makes the decisions and stuff. So he was kind of wild, right? This guy would
Yeah.
sleep in his car, be like, it was raining, so I didn't want to come back but he would like have to relieve our breaks. It was a bad place. He was
Wow.
crazy. He made it really hard to work there. So it's a morning, right? At work. It's really busy. It's me and one other lady. She was super nice. She had a family and stuff. She had to go because she has to take care of her kids. And someone was supposed to cover the break because I was supposed to leave. And he's there, but he's not in the department. So we're not. So it's like we really should have had him there. So it's busy. There's stuff coming in. People are like, we're taking passport photos. We're taking in like like orders, like it's insane. The line is huge. And we're working as hard as we can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person that was supposed to come to relieve me, right, called in because it was like a Thursday, they had been drinking on a Wednesday night.
Ouch.
And they were like, "Oh, I'm too drunk to come in." I was like,
oh, that
okay.
reminds me of my Chico State days.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people who not at jobs, but in group projects who weren't able to show up to group meetings and work on the project together because they were out partying all night and were too hungover to come in and work with us. It was kind of a mess. I don't miss Chico State at all. It was for the most part a great time, but but they say drink responsibly for a reason, kids. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, right. And like, yeah, so this person's like, "Yeah, I can't come in. I'm too drunk." I'm like, "It's literally Thursday. Like, what do you?" I was like, "Fine." So I have to cover this thing. So I'm exhausted. I had worked late the night before because the dude made me close all the time. So I was there at 11. I got back there at like 8 a.m. And I'm exhausted. But I'm like, all right. So I'm working and working and working. And I'm like, I want the manager to come to relieve us because this other lady has to leave. And in the process, I'm doing two jobs. I'm doing cash and I'm receiving like these plaque boards, like those boards people print like certificates on and stuff. And it like goes up on the wall. So those are called plaques. So we would have people would like get photos printed on them, and we had tons of them in this shelf. So I was also receiving, like writing these numbers down, putting them up. Like I'm doing all these jobs. The other girl's doing like 6 jobs as well. And I was about to take someone's passport. So I was like, "Go sit down." I go to grab this thing to receive it while I'm walking back anyway, right, to the same area, trying to multitask. And when I go to put this board, the shelf had like a bunch of mini plaques, but each of them are like a couple pounds. So in total, we calculate it's about 150 pounds, including the thick shelf that this stuff was on. And then in the bottom, we put big ones. So I was putting a big one away, and I didn't step back far enough. And I stood up really quickly because I'm working really quick. And I slammed the top of my head into the shelf and lifted it. And then my neck, like, obviously, like, cranked down, and I fell to the ground.
Oh.
Yeah, and I almost passed out. But this is how awkward I am. I saw full white. I went to the ground. I kind of was like, didn't know what was going on. The person who I was supposed to take this passport photo of saw it, and they got up and they were like, "Are you okay?" Because they're the only person who saw this hit, and they left, and so no one technically saw it. But this person who saw it was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay? Do you need help?" And I was so embarrassed and awkward. I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And I just forced myself to stand up, but I was so sure I was bleeding. Like, I started touching my head because I was sure I like had cracked my skull. Like, it's like nothing I've ever had before, like any pain I've had before. And I didn't see any blood. So I was like, I must be fine. And so then I just tried to continue. Within 5 minutes of that hit, I could not look down anymore.
Oof.
Yeah. The lights became way too bright and kind of fuzzy. And I'm still working.
Jeez.
My manager finally walks in, and my other coworker's like, "Go home. Like, what in the world?" Like, she was a mom, so she's like, "Listen, I'm calling your parents. You're going to," I'm like 19 when this happened. She's like, "I'm calling your parents. You're literally going to the hospital. This is ridiculous." I'm like, no. Like, I'm literally fine. Like, I'm not going to leave you because it's so busy, and you're not going to get relieved till like 1 p.m. now. It's like 10 a.m. Like, I'm staying. Which was a bad idea. Listen, y'all. If you hit your head, deal with it immediately. Do not be me. And so symptoms just kept getting worse and worse. I started to feel like I was going to throw up. I was extremely dizzy. My coworker said my eyes looked all messed up. She's like, "You got to leave." So eventually, like, my parents were called. I did an accident report and stuff. I went to the hospital, and they were like, "You're probably fine. Just like go home and sleep it off. Like, just relax." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm fine." At this point, I have sunglasses on because it's overcast. We're in Canada, it's overcast. I can't see anything. I got the glasses, and the dude, I remember the doctor had like flip-flops and socks on. Like, he rolled in like this is a Saturday, and he's like chilling in his living room. And he's like, "Yeah, you're good." Like, he barely checked me, and I was like, he didn't even check my eyes. You know how they do the light? Like, this happens in ASMR, the light check, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude didn't even do that. He literally just said, "You'll be fine. You'll get to go back to work Monday."
And did you?
No, I had swelling behind my eyes by Monday.
Oh.
It was really bad. So, I ended up calling the work, because now it's a work thing that I have to go through this work organization that Canada has to like deal with work accidents. and which is they're not very good.
Mhm.
Had a lot of problems. So basically what happened is I just kind of they're like, stay home, we'll try and find you some doctors. All the doctors were like, yeah, you'll be fine. You're young. It seems it's just mild. I ended up getting post-concussive syndrome, which is when you basically have all these symptoms of a concussion for a long term because, you probably have brain damage. But they never said that. They're like, no, it's, you're probably fine. It's post-concussive, but you're young. It'll get better. This is what I kept being told. We are now, September will be 6 years since this injury, and I just got a SPECT scan, which is a brain scan, literally 2 weeks ago, that confirms I have brain damage. I also have severe whiplash, so my neck is completely messed up
Ooh, I'm sorry.
from the hit. Yeah. And I have at least I have confirmed brain damage, like from the scan they confirmed it. And now I'm waiting to see if I can get compensated because I haven't been able to work a job like outside of YouTube. This has become my job because I just, I can't even clean my kitchen really without feeling super nauseous. I have like 42 symptoms, like all this stuff. So it's pretty crazy, but it's embarrassing because when I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I hit my head on a shelf. Like, what is that? How did that happen from hitting your head on a shelf? It's crazy. I gotta laugh about it because it's just otherwise it's just sad. But like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Take care of your heads, everyone. Take care of your head. Even if you hit your head on a shelf, like take that seriously because our brains are delicate. They're pretty delicate.
Absolutely. So we have another fan question. It's from a dear friend of the show, Tori's Tiger's Tales, a.k.a. Tiger's Tail ASMR, a.k.a. Torishima Eve, a.k.a. Tori. I still can't get all that right, and I have to say all that every time she asks a fan question for the show, which she often does. Damn you, Tori. She asked, what is your favorite fighting game? And what do you do to wind down after getting heated in a game?
Okay, my favorite fighting game is probably Smash Ultimate. I hadn't
Yes.
played a lot of fighting games before that, but that one like is really good.
I love me some Super Smash Brothers. Too bad the online mode in every Smash game is so laggy.
Yeah, like I've tried to play that with the community, but it's just so bad. Like the lag is so bad that like we were not having fun. So that's why we do Mario Kart because the online on that for some reason is great.
It's so weird. And that's been the case since Mario Kart Wii. I don't know
That's a
what.
literal remaster. Like
Yeah.
like yeah, it's crazy. So that would be my favorite one, except I cry when my brother beats me. So, it's like the game in the house where it's kind of banned, but like not, we just it's like, do we want to play that? We'll probably fight. Like
It's the shadow ban of family game time.
yeah, that one is, yeah. And then to calm down after I'm mad, man, if I play stuff like shooters, I get really mad. Like like Mario Kart or sorry, Mario Kart gets me mad like a shooter. But Fortnite or like when I would play like shooters, I don't do it a lot anymore. But when I would play shooters, I'd get pretty mad. And so usually when I can feel myself getting mad, I just stop. I just turn the game off. I'm like, okay, I'm getting way too invested in this. It's a game. I just turn it off. I'm like, whoa, like I need to chill out. And then usually I'll go like just try and relax. Like I usually just step all the way away from like the computer or the console. Like I just try to step all the way away and just take a breath and be like, okay, it's not that serious. It was just a game. And I go to like drink some water, walk around, and then just go and play something more chill usually. But I usually just take a full step back and that's how I calm down. I'm like, wait, Tatiana, this is a game. Like it's fine. You're okay. It's okay. You got way too emotionally invested in that Halo match. Like they got the flag, but listen, you got to calm down.
Tatiana, you and I need to play Halo together. I've gotten pretty good as of late. After when Halo Infinite was about to come out, I started playing through the whole Master Chief collection. I was about halfway through when it finally released, but I did not. Aside from the very beginning of the campaign, I didn't really touch it at all until I beat all the other Halo games, save for the Halo Wars stuff. But I'm talking about the actual FPS Halo games. After beating all those, I played through Halo Infinite on heroic. So I do have some pretty decent skill in that. So so if you need some help, let me know. I'm down.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
What would you say if you had to pick a go-to rage game, whether it's a shooter or not? What would it be?
Like the one that gets me the most raged?
Yeah, the game that you get really raged at, but you enjoy playing
Did I enjoy it?
Almost for the rage.
For getting mad at it. Huh.
For me, it's Perfect Dark.
Perfect. Okay. I'm trying to think like one that I love, but it's hard. I'm trying to think about it. I play so many games that I gotta one that's okay. One that was kind of like that for me, Reese. I don't know if I have one that it's like a go-to, but I think one that made me really mad recently. Right. Okay. Listen, I don't play Elden Ring and stuff because I just don't have the patience. Like I only get a certain amount of heartbeats in my life. But Horizon Forbidden West, for some reason, if you watch my playthrough of that game, I complain a lot. Because and I was kind of like I tried not to show how upset I was, but that game would get me so angry because the leveling system in that game is really different than the first game and really weird, and that game was making me so mad. Like the final boss fight, if you watch that VOD, I am so mad. I'm literally yelling. Like I'm so mad. I really lost a bit of control. I try to keep as much control as possible and composure, but I loved the game, so I kept playing it. But like there's so many times in that game where like you're walking and then one of the robot monsters just see you and you're like, oh, like you know what I mean? Like it just gets me so upset, but I will keep playing that game. I think that game is probably the one that gets me the most upset right now, but I will keep playing it because I like it. Definitely. But it's like every time something happens, there's a literal physical gasp. Even if I'm not streaming, I gasp out of frustration. I'm so mad and frustrated. And like my brother is the same. We both vent in the kitchen. We'll be like, yeah. And then Aloy doesn't even jump. Yeah, she doesn't even jump good. And we're just like my sister's just sitting there eating her cereal like, what is going on? And me and him are just ranting about this game, but we both played it and loved it.
Yeah,
that would be the game.
And it's always frustrating when NPCs discover you when they shouldn't have. Like I mentioned Perfect Dark. Those who've played through Perfect Dark, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's this one level toward the end of the game. I'm not going to give any story spoilers or anything like that, but there's this one level where you were captured and you're on an alien ship and you have to escape, and you start out with a little itty bitty rag of combat knife that you have to slash these aliens with, and they're armed with I can never remember the name of the weapon, but it's a really futuristic weapon. The game takes place in 2023. It came out in 2000, so it was so far in the future at the time. They were way off in how far advanced we would be at that point.
Yeah.
But so they have these weapons where they charge up. And when they charge up, it burns a little bit of ammo. But if you fire right after you charge up, it's an insanely powerful shot. But if you wait even a couple seconds, the power significantly goes down and you have to charge up and burn more ammo and get the timing right. And they move really fast and it's really frustrating. Even worse though, when they're shooting, all their shots are fully charged and shot frequently, and you have this itty bitty little combat knife. The first one you face is facing away from you if you get out of the room at the right time. About 9 to 10 seconds into the level, you could actually have a mission time counter on the bottom left, which I highly recommend you have that on for that level so that you can get that timing right. And then you sneak around and you try to get to the back and slash in the back, because if you slash them in the back when they don't know you're there, it's a one-hit kill. If they know you're there, it's a 2,000 hit kill. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it feels that way.
It feels,
you have to sneak past that first guy and slash him, and then pick up his weapon if you want to stand a chance, because there's another one right out of the corner. One of them, it's kind of easy to fight if you just keep circling around them, slashing in the back, because they can't go like this or anything, because it's an old game. They actually have to physically fully turn around before they shoot you. So you just keep circling around them to slash in the back until they're dead. But if two of them are attacking you once and you have that knight, you're screwed. There's no way you're going to beat them if you're playing on perfect agent difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty. So expect to replay the beginning of that level over and over and over again. And we talked about Halo. In the honest trailer of the Halo games, they point out that you regenerate health and there's constant checkpoints, which turn an entire generation of gamers into pampered itty bitty babies. back in my day when we died, we started the level over. It was super boring. We liked it. But that was Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. If you died in those games, you had to start the level all over again. Your health does not regenerate ever. Every time you get shot, you have to live with that until you die or start the level over. And it's so frustrating, but it builds gaming character. Trust me. Rant over.
I remember when games were like that, or even like now sometimes I've noticing in games with boss fights, like they'll let you go back right where you died, like to the point where the health is. And I remember it was not like that. Dark. Like I remember boss fights when I was a kid, and it was like, oh, just joking, you're redoing the whole boss fight from the beginning, so you're like trying to remember the waves. And as a kid, I would rage even at that point. It like, because the boss is, I would start to insult the boss. I'd be like, your pants are just weak. It's weak. Like, your drip is off. Like, I would just insult the boss because I'm so upset. I'd be like, you have bad shoes. Like, I'm gonna defeat you. Like, when I was a kid, I would literally roast these little bosses because I was so mad.
I kind of want to see you do that now.
Now I've done it a little bit before.
Good. Thank you so much, Tatiana, for coming on the show. It's been an absolute blast having you on. I cannot wait to play games with you again in the near future. Yeah. But until that day, where can everybody find you on social media?
So you can find me on YouTube. I stream. So you can find me at That's Awkward ASMR on YouTube for ASMR gaming content or like geeky content. And then if you want to see my non-ASMR content or you want to come to one of my live streams, you can check out That Awkward Gamer on YouTube. And yeah, there's lots of videos, VODs. I'm live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm on Twitter as well. But if you go to those channels, you're going to find all the links anyway. So go to the channels. The links are all in the description. You'll be able to find me. I'm all over.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tatiana. This has been a lot of fun. I'm Fam Cam. This is that I'm pointing the wrong direction, even on my own screen. Maybe I'm just as awkward myself. That's awkward ASMR. I made sure I said that correctly. That's awkward ASMR. This has been It's Getting Late, and we are outie. Thank you so much for having us, and stay chill.